Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Poetry Out Loud Regional Competition. My name is Alex Hunt.
My name is Michael McGee.
And we're going to be your two moderators for the evening, introducing your entertainment. I'm a big fan of poetry, personally.
I'm a bigger fan.
I doubt that. And to signify our love of poetry, we're going to be starting the night off with a few poems for you. In the interest of saving time, we're going to do short poems.
The shortest poems ever written,
in fact,
as we know.
To start off, we're going to be doing by Muhammad Ali, the shortest poem. Me. Wee.
I'll be reciting the second shortest poem ever written by George Bernard Shaw. Fleas. Adam had 'em.
Lovely. So let's kick off the festivities with Amber Graymorning, who will be doing our invocation to the Muse. She's a former Hellgate drama student.
And a former friend.
And a winner from the Hellgate Poetry Out Loud competition last year. She went to state. Let's bring her up. Give her a hand.
So for this invocation of the Muse, I was asked to pick one of my favorite poems to read, and I picked a poem by Emily Dickinson, but I decided it was too short and it needed a little bit extra, so I added a second stanza of my own to it. And I call it Poem Inspired by Emily Dickinson. To make a prairie, it takes a clover and one bee, one clover and a bee and reverie. The reverie alone will do if bees are few. And if this is true, we also see that to write a poem, it takes a pencil and one dream, a pencil and a dream and reverie. The reverie alone will do if dreams are few.
Thanks so much, Amber.
Thank you. Now let's introduce our judges for tonight. First up, we have Mr. Mark Gibbons, a teacher from the Missoula Writing Collaborative and an author of 3 books of poems. Let's give him a hand.
We also have Pragita Sharma, who's the director of the University of Montana Creative Writing Program and author of 3 books of poems.
And our very own Dr. Alex Apostle, who's the Missoula County Public Schools superintendent and a supporter of poetry, student achievement, academic freedom in Missoula, and lots of good things. Let's give him a hand.
What the judges will be doing is to evaluate each recitation on the basis of physical presence, voice articulation, appropriateness of dramatization, present level of difficulty of the poem, evidence of their understanding of the poem, and their overall performance.
In the case of a tie, the judges will decide on the basis of overall performance scores. We're happy to have also Mr. John Anderson, a Hellgate parent, who will be our accuracy judge for tonight.
Towards dad.
Towards dad. In the case of a tie, he'll be called upon to give his opinion based on accuracy.
We also have Ms. Lisa Waller, and she'll be our prompter tonight. She's seated down in the front and will help anyone if they lose their place or forgets a line.
After each student recites, the judges will score their performance on their judging seats, and they'll be tabulated by 2 of Hellgate's own fabulous teachers, Mr. Matthew Quinlan and Mr. Val Murray. Let's give them a hand.
There'll be 2 rounds of recitation, and each student will recite 1 poem apiece.
In between these poems, for your enjoyment and for the judges' leisure of tabulation, we have some Potomac middle schoolers who will be reading other fine works of poetry. So let's get to poetry round 1. First up, we have Mr. Evan Alexander reading a satirical elegy on the death of a late famous general. Mouthful.
Good evening. Good evening. Oh, that's better. I am Evan Alexander, The poem I will be reciting for you tonight is a satirical elegy on the death of a late famous general by Jonathan Swift. His Grace? Impossible! What, dead? Of old age too, and in his bed? And could that mighty warrior fall, and so inglorious after all? Well, since he's gone, no matter how, the last loud trump must wake him now. And trust me, as the noise goes stronger, he'd wish to sleep a little longer. And could he be indeed so old, as by the newspapers we're told? 80, I think, is rather high. 'Twas time and conscience he should die. This world he cumbered long enough, he burnt his candle to the snuff. And that's the reason some folks think he left behind so great a stink. Behold, his funeral appears, no widow sighs, nor orphan's tears. One at such times each heart to pierce, attend the progress of his hearse. But what of that, his friends may say? He had those honors in his day. True to his profit and his pride, he made them weep before he died. Come hither, all ye empty things, ye bubbles raised by breath of kings that ride upon the tide of state. Come hither and behold your fate. Let pride be taught by this rebuke, how very mean a thing's a duke, from all his ill-got honors flung, turn to the dirt from whence he sprung. Thank you.
Thank you. In between, why don't we have one of our Potomac Middle Schoolers, Miss Jasmine Berthelot, reading Fire and Ice by Robert Frost.
My name's Jasmine Birdsall, and I'll be reciting Fire and Ice by Robert Frost. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. But from what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction ice is also great and would suffice.
Thanks, Jasmine. Next we have Danica Laux, who will be reading Psalm of Life by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow.
A Psalm of Life by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. What the heart of the young man said to the psalmist. Tell me not in mournful numbers life is but an empty dream, for the soul is dead that slumbers, and things are not what they seem. Life is real, life is earnest, and the grave is not the goal. Dust thou art, to dust returnest, was not spoken of the soul. Not enjoyment and not sorrow is our destined end our way, but to act, that each tomorrow find us farther than today. Art is long, and time is fleeting, and our hearts, though stout and brave, still like muffled drums are beating funeral marches to the grave. In the world's broad field of battle, in the bivouac of life, be not like dumb driven cattle, be a hero in the strife. Trust no future, howe'er pleasant, let the dead past bury its dead. Act in the living present, heart within and God o'erhead. Lives of great men all remind us we can make our lives sublime, and departing leave behind us footprints on the sands of time. Footprints that perhaps another, sailing o'er life's solemn main, a forlorn and shipwrecked brother, seeing, shall take heart again. Let us then be up and doing, with a heart for any fate, still achieving, still pursuing, learn to labor and to wait.
Now, while the judges are finishing up, we have our in-house cellist, Mr. Jack Klimpe, who will play a song for us. Let's give Jack a hand. Our next contestant is Mr. Jamie Curtin, who will be reading The Owl and the Pussycat by Edward Lear. Let's give him a hand.
I'm Jamie Curtin, and I'll be reading The Owl and the Pussycat by Edward Lear. The owl and the pussycat went to sea in a beautiful pea-green boat. They took some honey and plenty of money wrapped up in a 5-pound note. The owl looked up to the stars above and sang to a small guitar. "Oh, lovely pussy, oh, pussy, my love, what a beautiful pussy you are, you are, you are. What a beautiful pussy you are." Pussy said to the owl, "You elegant fowl, how charmingly sweet you sing. Oh, let us be married, too long we have tarried, but what shall we do for a ring?" They sailed away for a year and a day to the land where the bong tree grows. And there in the wood a piggywig stood with a ring at the end of his nose, his nose, with a ring at the end of his nose. "Dear pig, are you willing to sell for 1 shilling your ring?" Said the piggy, "I will." So they took it away and were married next day by the turkey who lives on the hill. They dined on mince and slices of quince, which they ate with a runcible spoon. And hand in hand on the edge of the sand, they danced by the light of the moon, the moon, the moon. They danced by the light of the moon.
Thanks, Jamie. So next we have from Potomac, Ian Thomas.
Sorry if we mispronounced that.
Is it Ian?
Ian.
Thanks.
I'm Ian Thomas, and I will be reciting Cold-Blooded Creatures by Eleanor Wiley. Man, the egregious egoist, in mystery the twig is bent, imagines by some mental twist that he alone is sentient. Of the intolerable load which on all living creatures lies, he asks nor stoops to pity in the toad the speechless sorrow of its eyes. He asks no questions of the snake, nor plumbs the phosphorescent gloom, where lidless fishes, broad awake, swim staring at a nightmare doom.
Thanks, Ian. Next up, we actually have another Ian. One of our contestants, Mr. Ian Campbell.
My name is Ian Campbell, and this is Gitanjali 35 by Rabindranath Tagore. Where the mind is without fear, and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out of the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sands of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever-widening thought and action. Into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake.
Thanks, Ian. So now while the judges are doing their thing, hit it, Jack. Thanks, Jack. Now we have Nathaniel Hutchins reading Dream Song 14.
My name is Nathaniel Hutchins, and tonight I will be reciting Dream Song 14 by John Berryman. Life, friends, is boring. We must not say so. After all, the sky flashes, the great sea yearns, we ourselves flash and yearn, and moreover, my mother told me as a boy, repeatedly, ever to confess you're bored means you have no inner resources. I now conclude that I have no inner resources, for I am heavy bored. People bore me. Literature bores me, especially great literature. Henry bores me with his plights and gripes as bad as Achilles, who loves people and valiant art, which bores me. And the tranquil hills and gin look like a drag, and somehow a dog has taken itself and its tail into the mountains or sea or sky, leaving behind me, Wag.
Thanks, Nathaniel. Now, for your pleasure, another Potomac middle schooler, Miss Lacey Taylor, reading Shall Earth No More Inspire Thee?
My name is Lacey Taylor, and I'll be reciting Shall Earth No More Inspire Thee by Emily Bronte. Shall earth no more inspire thee, thou lonely dreamer now? Since passion may not fire thee, shall nature cease to bow? My mind is ever moving in regions dark to thee. Recall its useless roving, come back and dwell with me. I know my mountain breezes enchant and soothe thee still. I know my sunshine pleases, despite thy wayward will. When day and evening blending sinks from the summer sky, I've seen thy spirit bending in fond idolatry. I've watched thee every hour, I know my mighty sway. I know my magic power to drive thy griefs away. Few hearts to mortals given on earth so widely pine, yet none would ask a heaven more like this earth than thine. So let my winds caress thee, thy comrade let me be, yet not beside can bless thee, return and dwell with me.
Thank you, Lacey. Our next contestant is Mr. Byron King, reading Jabberwocky by Lewis Carroll.
Hello, my name is Byron King. And I will be reciting Jabberwocky by Lewis Carroll. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toes did gyre and gimble in the wabe. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mom wrasse outgrabe. Beware the Jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the Jub burden, son, the frumious Bandersnatch. He took his vorpal sword in hand, long time the maxim foe he sought. So rested he by the tum-tum tree, and stood a while in thought. And as in uffish light he stood, the Jabberwock, with eyes aflame, came whiffling through the tulgey wood, and burbled as it came. 1, 2, 1, 2, and through the vorpal blade went snicker-snack. He left it dead, and with its head he went galumphing back. And hast thou slain the Jabberwock? Come to my arms, my beamish boy. O frab juste, calucale, he chortled in his joy. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toes did gyre and gimble in the wabe. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mom wrasse outgrabe.
Go ahead, Jack. You know what to do. Next we have Diego Steele.
Hello. Hello. My name is Diego Steele, and I will be performing Lift Every Voice and Sing by James Weldon Johnson. Lift every voice and sing until earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun, let us march on until history is won. Stony, the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the days when hope unborn had died. Yet, with a steady beat, have not our weary feet come to the place for which our fathers sighed? We have come over a way that with tears has been watered. We have come, treading our path through the blood of the slaughtered. Out from the gloomy past till now we stand at last, where the white gleam of our bright stars cast. God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, Thou hast brought us thus far along the way. Thou who has, by Thy might, led us into the light, keep us forever in the path, we pray. Lest our feet stray from the places, our God, where we met Thee, lest our hearts, drunk with the wine of the world, we forget Thee. Shadowed beneath Thy hand, may we forever stand, true to our God, true to our native land.
Thank you. Next we have A Fable for Blackbeard, read by Isaac Kentworthy from Potomac.
Hi, I'm Isaac Kenworthy, and I'm reciting Fable for Blackboard by George Starbuck. Here's the grackle, people. Here's the fox, folks. The grackle sits in the bracken, the fox hopes. Here are the fronds, friends, who cover the fox. The fronds get in a frenzy, the grackle looks. Here are the ticks, tykes, that live in the leaves, loves. The fox is confounded, and God is above.
Thanks, Jay. Isaac. Our last contestant for this round will be Miss Adrienne Kransky reading I Knew a Woman. Let's give her a hand.
My name is Adrienne Kransky, and I will be reciting I Knew a Woman by Theodore Roethke. I knew a woman, lovely in her bones. When small birds sighed, she would sigh back at them. Ah, when she moved more ways than one. The shapes a bright container can contain. Of her choice virtues, only God should speak, or English poets who grew up on Greek. I'd have them sing in chorus, cheek to cheek. How well her wishes went! She stroked my chin, she taught me turn and counter-turn and stand. She taught me touch, that undulant white skin. I nibbled meekly from her proffered hand. She was the sickle, I, poor I, the rake, coming behind her for her pretty sake. But what prodigious mowing we did make! Love likes a gander and adores a goose. Her full lips pursed, the errant note to seize. She played it quick, she played it light and loose. My eyes, they dazzled at her flowing knees. Her several parts could keep a pure repose, or one hip quiver with a mobile nose. She moved in circles, and those circles moved. Let seed be grass, and grass turn into hay. I'm martyr to a motion not my own. What's freedom for? To know eternity. I swear she cast a shadow white as stone. But who would count eternity in days? These old bones live to learn her wanton ways. I measure time by how a body sways.
Thanks, Adrian.
Thank you. Well, folks, that's the end of round one. Right now, we have a 5-minute intermission if you'd care to stretch your legs. If not, we'll be having a few more poems and another lovely cello song for your entertainment. First up, we have Flirtation by Rita Dove, read by Connell Coughing.
Hello, I'm Connell Coughing, and I'll be reciting Flirtation by Rita Dove. After all, there's no need to say anything at first. An orange-pilled and quarter flares like a tulip on a Wedgwood plate. Outside, the sun has rolled up her rugs, and night strewn salt across the sky. My heart is humming a tune I haven't heard in years. Quiet's cool fletch lets it sniff and eat it. There are ways to make of the moment a topiary, so the pleasure is in walking through.
Next we have Annika. Is it Anika? Anika. Next we have Anika Preston reading The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost.
Hi, I'm Anika Preston, and I'm reciting The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and be one traveler long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though, as for that, my passing there warned them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay, and leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I saved the first for another day. Yet, knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere, ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference.
Thank you. It's a lovely poem. One of my favorite poems. Play it again, Jack. Have the judges finished with their tabulation? Great. Then we'll move on to round 2.
After this round, the top 5 contestants will be announced, and they will advance to the Montana State Meet in Helena at the Myrna Loy Theater on March 14th.
First up, Nathaniel Hutchins reading Experience by Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Hello, I am again Nathaniel Hutchins, and I will be reciting Experience by Ralph Waldo Emerson. The lords of life, I saw them pass in their own guise, like and unlike, portly and grim, use and surprise, spectral past and succession swift, temperament without a tongue, and the inventor of the game, omnipresent without a name. Some to see, some to be guessed, they traveled from east to west. Little man, least of all, walked among the guardians tall, with a puzzled expression on his face. By the hand dear nature took, dearest nature, heart and kind, whispered, darling, never mind. Tomorrow they will wear another face. The founder thou, those are thy race.
A valiant effort.
Now I'd like to welcome back to the stage Diego Steele.
Wait, actually we have
Oh, sorry.
another Potomac middle schooler. Mr. Boyd G. Gee, reading Song of the Powers. Sorry, we didn't mean to skip you over.
Hello, my name is Boyd G., and I will be reciting Song of the Powers by David Mason. Mine, said the stone, mine is the hour. I curse the scissors, such is my power. Stronger than wishes, my power alone. Mine, said the paper, mine are the words that smother the stone with imagined birds, reams of them flown from the mind of the shaper. Mine, said the scissors, mine are the knives that smother, gashing through paper's ethereal lives. Nothing so proper as tattering wishes. Stone crushes scissors, paper snuffs stone, scissors cut paper, all end alone. So heap up your paper and scissor your wishes and uproot the stone from the top of the hill. They all end alone, as you will, you will.
Thanks, G.
Thanks. Now we'll have Diego Steele reading Playing Dead by Andrew Hudgens.
Hey. My name is Diego Steele, and I will be reciting Playing Dead by Andrew Hudgens. Our father liked to play a game. He played that he was dead. He took his thick black glasses off and he stretched out on the bed. He wouldn't twitch and didn't snore or move in any way. He didn't even seem to breathe. We'd ask, Are you okay? We tickled fingers up and down his huge pink stinky feet. He didn't move. He laid as still as last year's parakeet. We pushed our fingers up his nose and wiggled them inside. Next, we peeled his eyelids back. Are you okay? We cried. I really thought he might be dead, and not just playing possum, because his eyeballs didn't twitch when I slid my tongue across them. He's dead, we sobbed. But to be sure, I jabbed him in the jewels. He rose like Jesus from the dead, though I don't think Jesus drools. His right hand lashed both right and left. His left hand clutched his scrotum. And the words he yelled, I know damn well, I'm way too young to quote him.
Thanks, Diego. And now from Potomac, Dakota Frank.
Hi, my name is Dakota Frank, and I will be reciting Valentine by Eleanor Wiley. Too high to pluck, my heart shall swing. A fruit no bee shall suck, no wasp shall sting. If on some night of cold it falls to ground, in apple leaves of gold I'll wrap it round. And I shall seal it up with spices and salt, in a carven silver cup, in a deep vault. Before my eyes are blind, and my lips mute, I shall eat corn rind of that same fruit. Before my heart is dust, at the end of all, eat it I must, wear it bitter gall. But I shall keep it sweet by some strange art, wild honey I shall eat when I eat my heart. O honey cool and chaste as clover's breath, sweet heaven I shall taste before my death.
Thanks, Dakota. And now welcoming back to the stage, Adrian Kransky.
All right, I'm guessing we're all ready. Good evening, I am Adrian Kransky. I will be reciting Death Be Not Proud by John Donne. Death, be not proud, though some have called thee mighty and dreadful, for thou art not so. For those whom thou thinkest thou dost overthrow, die not. Poor death, nor yet canst thou kill me. From rest and sleep, which but thy pictures be, much pleasure, then from thee much more must flow. And soonest our best men with thee do go, rest of their bones and soul's delivery. Thou art slave to fate, chance, kings, and desperate men, and dost with poison, war, and sickness dwell. And poppy or charm could make us sleep as well, and better than thy stroke. Why swellest thou then? One short sleep past, we wake eternally, and death shalt be no more. Death, thou shalt die.
Thanks, Adrian.
Now getting back into our schedule that we've developed, we'll be having Fire and Ice by Robert Frost, read by Brianka Thornton. I guess that's kind of the obvious pronunciation.
Hello? Oh, I guess it's fine.
I'm Brianka Thornton, and I'll be reciting Fire and Ice by Robert Frost. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice.
Thank you.
And now welcoming back to the stage, Ian Campbell.
This is Anyone Lived in a Pretty How Town by E. E. Cummings. Anyone lived in a pretty how town, with up so floating many bells down, spring, summer, autumn, winter. He sang his didn't, he danced his did. Women and men, both little and small, cared for anyone, not at all. They sowed their isn't, they reaped their same. Sun, moon, stars, rain. Children guessed, but only a few, and down they forgot as up they grew, autumn, winter, spring, summer, that no one loved him more by more. Wind by now and tree by leaf, she laughed his joy, she cried his grief. Bird by snow and stir by still, anyone's any was all to her. Someones married their everyones, laughed their cryings and did their dance. Sleep, wake, hope, and then they said their nevers, they slept their dreams. Stars, rain, sun, moon, and only the snow can begin to explain how children are apt to forget to remember with up so floating many bells down. One day, anyone died, I guess, and no one stooped to kiss his face. Busy folk buried them side by side, little by little and was by was. All by all and deep by deep, and more by more they dream their sleep. No one and anyone, earth by April, wish by spirit, and if by yes. Women and men, both dong and ding, summer, autumn, winter, spring, reaped their sowings, and went there came, sun, moon, stars, rain.
Thanks, Ian.
Now we have a poem for you, but it's not a poem of words, it's a poem of sweet, sweet cello music. Next, Byron King with Harlem by Langston Hughes.
Harlem by Langston Hughes. What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun, or fester like a sore and then run? Does it stink like rotten meat, or crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load, or does it explode?
Thanks a lot, Byron. And now from Potomac, Melody, is that right? Melody McDaniel.
Hello, my name is Melody McDaniel, and I'll be reciting Conversation by I for Robert Lowell. We smile at each other, and I lean back against the wicker couch. How does it feel to be dead, I say? You touch my knees with your blue fingers, and when you open your mouth, a ball of yellow light falls to the floor and burns a hole through it. Don't tell me, I say, I don't want to hear. Did you ever, you start, wear a certain kind of silk dress, and just by accident, so inconsequential you barely notice it, your fingers graze that dress, and you hear the sound of a knife cutting paper, and you see it too, and you realize that image is simply the extension of another image, that your own life is just a chain of words that one day will snap. Words, you say, young girls in a circle, holding hands, beginning to rise heavenward, and their confirmation dresses like white helium balloons, the wreaths of flowers on their heads spinning. And above all that, that's where I'm floating, and that's what it's like, only 10 times clearer, 10 times more horrible. Could anyone alive survive it?
Evan Alexander reading Alone by Edgar Allan Poe.
Hello, I'm Evan. My name is Evan Alexander. The poem I will be reciting for you tonight is Alone by Edgar Allan Poe. From childhood's hour I have not been as others were. I have not seen as others saw. I could not bring my passions from a common spring. From the same source I have not taken my sorrow. I could not awaken my heart to joy at the same tone. And all I loved alone. Then, in my childhood, in the dawn, a most stormy life was drawn from every depth of good or ill, the mystery which binds me still, from the torrent or the fountain, from the red cliff of the mountain, from the sun which round me rolled in its autumn tint of gold, from the lightning in the sky as it passed me flying by, from the thunder and the storm, and the cloud that took the form, while the rest of heaven was blue, of a demon in my view. Thank you.
Thank you. And from Potomac, Brooke Kapalka, reading One Perfect Rose by Dorothy Parker.
My name is Brooke Apalka, and I am reciting One Perfect Rose by Dorothy Parker. A single flower he sent me since we met, all tenderly messenger he chose, deep-hearted, pure, with scented dew still wet, one perfect rose. I knew the language of his floweret, my fragile leaves, it said, his heart enclose. Love has long since taken for its amulet one perfect rose. Why has no one ever since sent me yet one perfect limousine, do you suppose? No, it's always been just my luck to get one perfect rose.
Thanks, Brooke. And now welcoming back to the stage Tanika Laux, reciting Stopping by the Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost.
Tonight's the night for Robert Frost.
Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost. Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. My little horse may think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sound's the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The woods are lovely, dark, and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep.
Hi, Jack.
And our last poem for you tonight, Jamie Curtin, reading Nude Descending a Staircase by X.J. Kennedy.
I'm Jamie Curtin, and I'll be reciting Nude Descending a Staircase by X.J. Kennedy. Toe after toe, a snowing flesh, a gold of lemon, root and rind. She sifts in sunlight down the stairs, with nothing on, nor on her mind. We spy beneath the banister a constant thresh of thigh on thigh. Her lips imprint the swinging air that parts to let her parts go by. One woman waterfall. She wears her slow descent like a long cape, and pausing on the final stair, collects her motions into shape.
Thank you, Jamie. That's the end of round two. Right now we'll have a brief scoring break for the judges to finish up their scoring, during which Jack Klimpe will play Suites for an Unaccompanied Violoncello by J.S. Bach. Thank you, Jack. In a few moments, we'll announce the winners of tonight's competition, but first we'd like to give some shout-outs.
Some special thanks for some of the Hellgate faculty. Jane Bennett, our principal. We have Gene Croxton, Val Murray, Lisa Waller, Matthew Quinlan, Bolton Rothwell, and Marvin Pauls.
We thank you all. Also, some of our students who made this possible. I'd like to thank Sarah Mace and Sarah Meismer, the Sarahs. I'd like to thank Jack for his cello music. And ladies and gentlemen, there's one other person I would like to thank, someone who made tonight possible. You're a lovely moderator, gracious moderator. You're not lovely. Michael McGee.
Thanks, Alex. I'm but a sidekick to the great Alex Hunt. Thanks, bud.
We'd also like to thank MCAT for taping tonight. Woo.
Saves information for them.
If you'd like to contact MCAT for a copy of tonight's show, you can call them at 542-6228. That would be 542-MCAT, which is helpful.
Maybe one more round of applause for all the poetry readers. And here they come.
Here they come. Please welcome up to the stage, Ember Gray Morning.
And now the moment we have all been waiting for, our finalists. I'd just like to congratulate everyone who participated today. You guys were all wonderful, and I'm so glad I got to come and listen to you. I will announce the alternates first. The first alternate from Hellgate High School, Nathaniel Hutchins. Round of applause. Second alternate from Hamilton, Danica Lucas. Lukes? Lowe's? Sorry.
We had
it's
asked
written
too.
funny. I'm sorry. And from Sentinel, Evan Alexander. And now your finalists who will be going on to state. In first place, Adrian Kransky from Hellgate High School. In second place, Jamie Curtin from Hellgate High School. In third place, Diego Steele from Sentinel. Fourth, Ian Campbell from Hamilton. And finally, Byron King from Hamilton. Byron King from Hamilton. A round of applause for our finalists. Good job, everybody. So yeah, state will work as such. There will be 5 contestants coming from the Butte region, 5 from Billings, and 5 from Missoula, and then 3 from various rural areas in Montana. So we wish all of our contestants luck. Rock it. Okay.
Congratulations to everybody who participated. Thank you all for coming tonight. Drive safe and have a good night.
I don't know about that drive safe one,
but you know, someone might have been.
Yeah, got a little flask in the audience. This is great.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's just been brought to my attention that Sean Gant hasn't been helped. Without her, none of this would have been possible. So let's give her a round of applause for being wonderful and organizing the whole thing.
Yeah, she wrote our script, so we kind of forgot that.
Have a wonderful evening.